Hello everybody, welcome back to this cancer series for NEET PG, and today I'll be teaching you parotid, oral and buccal tumors, and most importantly parotid and oral cancers, all their PYQs and their mnemonics also. So let's start with the topic. So first is parotid tumor. Uh, Give me 1 second. Yes. So first is parotid tumor. In the parotid tumor, we have to see how many are malignant and how many are benign. This is the first PYQ. So 90% of parotid tumors are benign and 10% are the malignant. Then comes to the if the tumor involves superficial lobe, what will happen? If the tumor involves deep lobe, what will happen? So if the tumor involves superficial lobe, then it will lift the ear lobule. But अगर deep lobe involve होगा तो उसमें क्या होगा? Tonsil will be pushed medially. So this is how you differentiate the involvement of superficial lobe with the deep lobe. Now coming to the most common questions. These all are PYQs. So first is most common benign, so that is the pleomorphic adenoma. It is also most common neoplasm. अगर question में पूछा था most common neoplasm or most common benign parotid tumor, so the answer will be pleomorphic. Next is the most common tumor in children. So the answer is hemangioma. Most common benign tumor in children is hemangioma. Then most common malignant is mucoepidermoid. It is also most common malignant in adult and child both. So most common malignant in adults and most common malignant in child are is both mucoepidermoid tumor. Second most common malignant is adenoid cystic. Second most common malignant is adenoid cystic. Most common malignant tumor of minor salivary glands also. So these all are questions. सारे PYQs ही मैंने note down किए हैं यहाँ पर. So you have to focus very carefully at each and every point. Most common bilateral tumor is Warthin tumor. It is technetium 99 positive. So most common bilateral अगर पूछ रहेगा तो Warthin tumor रहेगा. Most common benign pleomorphic adenoma. Most common benign tumor in children. So that is hemangioma. Most common malignant tumor mucoepidermoid. Second most common malignant adenoid cystic. Now come to the very general points about surgery. All parotid and salivary glands की जितने भी tumor है, some investigation of choice will be FNAC and staging will be done by MRI to find extension also MRI. Okay, so investigation of choice is FNAC and staging is for staging via MRI. Now treatment of all malignant tumors. Treatment of all malignant tumors, surgery followed by radiotherapy. दिस इज अगेन PYQ पॉइंट. आपको हमेशा मैंने आपको इसलिए समराइज करके बता रहा हूँ स्टार्टिंग में. ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ ऑल बेनाइन पैरोटिड ट्यूमर्स involving Warthin and pleomorphic both is superficial parotidectomy. Okay, it's sorry for the slip of tongue. Superficial parotidectomy. So treatment of all malignant, पहले सर्जरी करना है, देन उसके बाद रेडियोथेरेपी देना है. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि रेडियोथेरेपी देना है कि नहीं देना है. आपको एक क्वेश्चन में सिनेरियो दिया जाएगा और आपको उससे पता लग जाए कि ठीक है मेलिग्नेंट है, फिर आपको ऑप्शंस दिए जाएंगे सर्जरी उसके बाद रेडियोथेरेपी या रेडियोथेरेपी के बाद सर्जरी या रेडियोथेरेपी देनी नहीं है तो सर्जरी के बाद रेडियोथेरेपी देनी है इन ऑल मेलिग्नेंट पैरोटिड ट्यूमर्स. नाउ सर्जिकल पॉइंट्स. तो सर्जरी में सबसे पहले इंसिजन, दैट इज द लेजी जेड और मॉडिफाइड ब्लेयर इंसिजन. ठीक है, इट इज द 2 finger breadth बिलो द मैंडिबल. इट इज द 2 finger breadth बिलो द मैंडिबल टू प्रोटेक्ट द मार्जिनल मैंडिबुलर नर्व. टू प्रोटेक्ट टू प्रोटेक्ट marginal mandibular nerve. Okay, now you don't have to do monopolar cautery. आपको याद होगा जनरल सर्जरी के पॉइंट से, अगर आपने पढ़ा होगा जनरल सर्जरी में कि मोनोपोलर कॉटरी इज कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेटेड. मोनोपोलर कॉटरी इज कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेटेड एट ऑल वाइटल स्ट्रक्चर्स. मोनोपोलर कॉटरी इज कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेटेड. बाइपोलर कॉटरी कैन बी डन एट ऑल वाइटल स्ट्रक्चर. सो पैरोटिड इज ऑल्सो वाइटल स्ट्रक्चर, तो बाइपोलर कॉटरी करनी है, मोनोपोलर कॉटरी नहीं करनी है. इट इज ऑल्सो PYQ. दीज ऑल आर PYQs. फिर टाइप्स ऑफ सर्जरी, अगर सुपरफिशियल लोब इन्वॉल्व है तो देन वी विल ओनली रिमूव सुपरफिशियल पैरोटिड ग्लैंड, दैट इज कॉल्ड सुपरफिशियल पैरोटिडेक्टमी. if both lobes are involved then we can do either total conservative parotidectomy. in this facial nerve preserve रहेगी. बट अगर हमने रेडिकल रिमूव कर दिया है देन, अगर हमने रेडिकल ऑपरेशन किया देन फेशियल नर्व विल बी रिमूव. तो उस केस में हमें क्या करना है, केबल ग्राफ्ट का यूज करना है. ओके, केबल ग्राफ्ट क्या करता है कि अगर नर्व यहाँ से डैमेज हो चुकी है तो उस पार्ट को रिपेयर कर देगा. सो केबल ग्राफ्ट इज यूज टू ब्रिज द गैप. सो मोस्ट कॉमन ग्राफ्ट कौन सा है, ग्रेटर ऑरिकुलर नर्व. बट अगर बेस्ट ग्राफ्ट पूछा है तो इट इज द सूरल नर्व. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पीवाईक्यू। मतलब बहुत बार एग्जाम में आ चुका है कि अगर आपको फेशियल नर्व अगर डैमेज हो चुकी है पैरोटिडेक्टमी करते हुए, रेडिकल पैरोटिडेक्टमी कर रहे थे, फेशियल नर्व डैमेज हो तो व्हाट इज द मोस्ट कॉमन नर्व जो आप यूज कर सकते हो, फिर व्हाट इज द बेस्ट नर्व जो आप यूज कर सकते हो, दोनों में आंसर्स डिफरेंट है। वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत ध्यान से आपको एक पॉइंट इसमें याद रखना है। नाउ दिस दो तरह के डायसेक्शन है, कैप्सुलर इंट्रा कैप्सुलर डायसेक्शन जिसमें हम फेशिया के अंदर जाके पैरोटिड को रिमूव करेंगे, और एक्स्ट्रा कैप्सुलर डायसेक्शन जिसमें हम फेशिया के बाहर रह के ही, कैप्सूल के बाहर रह के ही उसको डायसेक्ट करेंगे। ओके, so this is for the benign tumors where facial nerve injury is less and less chances of Frey syndrome। क्यों? क्योंकि auriculotemporal nerve की जो इंजरी है वो भी लेस होगी। ठीक है, so this is the benefits of, so these are the benefits of extra capsular dissection for parotid। Now coming to the injuries, so first injury is marginal mandibular nerve, so first injury is marginal mandibular nerve or it is also called as ramus mandibularis। okay, इसमें क्या होगा कि drooping of the angle of mouth will be present। अगर marginal mandibular nerve की इंजरी होगी तो drooping of the angle of the mouth of the same side, drooping of angle of mouth of the same side will be there in the marginal mandibular nerve injury। Now coming to the greater auricular nerve injury, so क्या हुआ कि अगर एग्जाम में आपको दे रखा है कि बियर्ड एरिया पे सेंसेशन लॉस हो चुका है, दैट इज अगर एग्जाम में दिया है कि बियर्ड एरिया पे सेंसेशन लॉस है, बियर्ड एरिया पे सेंसेशन लॉस है वाइल शेविंग, ठीक है, और या फिर एंगल ऑफ माउथ के एरिया पे सेंसेशन लॉस है, so that will be greater auricular nerve injury, this is also PYQ। these all are PYQs again। now facial nerve injury, so facial nerve injury में क्या रहेगा, अगर 1 सेंटीमीटर इंफीरियर एंड डीप टू ट्रेगल पॉइंटर है या फिर कॉनलीज पॉइंटर है तो उस पॉइंट पे फेशियल नर्व की इंजरी हो सकती है। अगर स्टाइलॉइड प्रोसेस के लेवल पे इंजरी हुई है किसी नर्व की एंड ऑल्सो सुपीरियर टू इट, सो दैट इज अगेन फेशियल नर्व। ये सारे के सारे ये लोकेटर्स हैं ऑफ फेशियल नर्व इंजरी। एंड ऑल्सो एट द पोस्टीरियर बेली ऑफ डाइगेस्ट्रिक बिकॉज इट इज द सेकंड फेरिंजियल आर्च। और आपको याद रखना है जो फर्स्ट फेरिंजियल आर्च है वो सप्लाई की जाती है फिफ्थ नर्व से, दैट इज द मैंडिबुलर नर्व। और अगर जो पोस्टीरियर बेली ऑफ डाइगेस्ट्रिक है दैट इज द मसल ऑफ सेकंड फेरिंजियल आर्च, और सेकंड फेरिंजियल आर्च सप्लाई होती है फेशियल नर्व से, सेवंथ नर्व से। सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर फेशियल नर्व के लोकेटर्स क्या क्या, कहाँ पर इंजरी हो सकती है, 1 सेंटीमीटर inferior and deep to tragal pointer first, second is the styloid process because nerve is superior to it, and third is the posterior belly of digastric because it is the muscle of second pharyngeal arch, not first pharyngeal arch, it is the muscle of second pharyngeal arch। now coming to the last, that is the Frey syndrome। Frey syndrome is also called as gustatory swelling when a patient will chew the food, then there will be sweating। okay, so this is not swelling, this is this is sweating, gustatory sweating, when a patient will chew the food then there will be sweating, so it is due to auriculotemporal nerve injury, and the definitive surgery will be tympanic neurectomy, this is a PYQ again। and this is a definitive surgery, not preventive surgery, okay, but it is prevented by extracapsular dissection of parotid। when you do intracapsular dissection of parotid then there are chances of Freight syndrome, but when you do extracapsular dissection of parotid then this will prevent Frey syndrome। okay, and you can also prevent Frey syndrome by sternocleidomastoid or digastric muscle flap to cover the parotid bed, so that the auriculotemporal nerve injury chances will be very less। सो एग्जाम में डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन पूछा है कि डेफिनेटिव सर्जरी क्या है या फिर और प्रिवेंटिव सर्जरी क्या है। मतलब अगर हमें पेशेंट की इस कॉम्प्लिकेशन को प्रिवेंट करना है तो आप क्या करोगे, बट अगर आपको डेफिनेटिव सर्जरी करनी है आफ्टर दिस फ्रे सिंड्रोम देन आप क्या करोगे, दिस इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट PYQ। now coming to the last, if parotid fistula forms then what is the surgery, Niemann and Seabrook's procedure, it was the question of the CMS exam directly asked for the parotid fistula what is the surgery, so it is the Newman and Seabrook procedure। now coming to the tumors clinical features directly, so first is pleomorphic tumor, very important, female more than males, again it is a CMS question, females more than males, it is a slow tumor, radiation exposure, plague 1 gene, and these are the markers, these all are the markers, how you can remember this, because females are pleomorphic in nature, so females more than males, and whenever someone is pleomorphic it will, it will turn its color very slowly। so so pleomorphic means which have two faces और बहरूपिया जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में। so you can now learn the mnemonic very easily, so females are pleomorphic and females are very pleomorphic, so they are very slow, they will turn their colors very slowly। So it is due to the radiation exposure. The risk factors, the risk factors are the radiation exposure also. BLAG1 gene is involved, and these are the markers: cytokeratin 7, S100, P63, SOX10, and SMA. These markers are very PYQs, important question. They were asked in the PYQs. This P63 was asked once, so you have to remember this, remember these markers also. Now the histology part. Now the histo part, there will be myxoid and hyaline tissue present. There will be myxoid and hyaline tissue present. The epithelial component in this will be myxoid and hyaline tissue, and there will be also the cartilage component, and it is responsible for chondroid differentiation. So this was again asked in the INICT exam. So in the histology slide, you will see cartilage part, you will see epithelial part, you will also see the myxoid part. So this is all the there is all the mixture of epithelial, cartilage, and myxoid component. Now it will be like finger, and there will be eosinophilic dot, yani ki pink dots. There will be pink dots in between the blue keratin cells. That is the squamous part. Okay, this is the epithelial components, squamous part, and epithelial dots will be myxoid part. Okay, so this is about the histology. Now coming to the signs of malignant conversion. This is very basic. Okay, we all know from the postings part of surgery. So it is a rapid increase in size if the lymph nodes of the neck is involved, if the ulceration is present, facial nerve involvement is there. This is very important, and it is the painful. These two are very important. These are forgettable points. Okay, if the facial nerve is involved, if the pleomorphic adenoma becomes painful, agar ulceration ho jata hai, lymph nodes of neck is involved, and the size increases very rapidly, so these are signs of malignant conversion. This was directly asked in the PYQ. Now about the Warthin tumor. Look, W is like the inverted M. Okay, so it is male more than females. It is also benign. Smoking risk, because smoking में M आ रहा है and Warthin is like M, so this is the risk. Here the risk factors are smoking and again radiation exposure, and this is painful sometimes. Okay, it was again a PYQ, and it involves the tail of parotid. So there was the question where was directly asked which was the tumor which involves the tail of parotid gland. So that is the Warthin tumor. And in the histology slide, there will be double layer of cells where there will be blue cells. Okay, there will be blue cells, and the double layer you can easily identify in the histology slide. Now coming to the BLL, benign lymphoepithelial lesion, BLEL. Okay, benign lymphoepithelial lesion. It is the CMV associated tumor, cytomegalovirus associated. It is also called as Godwin tumor, not Gorlin syndrome. Gorlin syndrome was associated with BCC. Gorlin syndrome was associated with BCC. This is Godwin tumor. It is also called Eskimoma if it is malignant. This is CMS PYQ. Okay, this is CMS PYQ. So it is the CMS involved. CMS is involved here. Sorry. CMV is involved here. Cytomegalovirus is involved here. There is Godwin tumor. It is also called as Godwin tumor, and the Eskimoma if it is malignant. Okay, and the treatment is excision. You just do simple excision. So this was the question in CMS, where Godwin tumor was given in this statement, and it was asked what would be the treatment. So the treatment will be excision. Okay, now coming to the malignant tumors. So the malignant tumors are two type: mucoepidermoid and adenoid cystic. So few points about them. Again, radiation exposure. So remember, radiation exposure is the key risk factor for all the parotid tumors. Okay, CRCT1, MML2 gene, and the infancy. I have also told you that mucoepidermoid tumor, it is the most common malignant tumor of both of both adults of both adults and child. Okay, now adenoid cystic tumor, it is the painful tumor. It is the because of the perineural involvement. It has the high recurrence rate. This is the PYQ. High recurrence rate. It has the Swiss cheese pattern, also seen in HIV parotitis. Every single point I am mentioning here is the PYQ, so you have to remember it very carefully. Okay, now coming to the oral tumors. So first is Plummer-Vinson syndrome or Kelly-Patterson syndrome. This was again the question in NEET 2025 also. Okay, Plummer-Vinson or Kelly-Patterson syndrome. It is the sideropenic dysphagia. Okay, the patient will present with the dysphagia, and it due to the iron deficiency anemia. There will be koilonychia perimenopausal. This is not postmenopausal. Okay, it is perimenopausal, not premenopausal. It is perimenopausal female. Post cricoid web will be there. glossitis, angular cheilitis. These are all are the symptoms of IDA. Okay, so this was the question. It increases the risk of esophagus and hypopharynx. Okay, it is increases the risk of esophagus and hypopharynx squamous cell carcinoma. It increases the risk of squamous cell carcinoma of esophagus and hypopharynx. So this is the PYQ again. Okay, so you have to remember Plummer-Vinson syndrome, very important. Every year there is question from Plummer-Vinson syndrome. Now coming to the erythroplakia versus leukoplakia. So erythroplakia नाम में ही पता लग रहा है, erythro means red, so there is red patch which can't be rubbed off, and it is 6 to 9 times increase in malignancy. So there is 6 to 9 times increase in malignant risk. Okay, and the leukoplakia, there is a white patch which can't be rubbed off, and the what is candidiasis, it is the white lesion which can be rubbed off. तो आपको तीन पॉइंट्स, तीन डिफरेंशिएटिंग पॉइंट्स है. erythroplakia में red patch होगा which can't be rubbed off, leukoplakia में white patch which can't be rubbed off again, but in candidiasis white lesion which can be rubbed off. Okay, and what is the treatment? Treatment is the excision. For both leukoplakia and erythroplakia the treatment is excision. Okay, for both leukoplakia and erythroplakia, the treatment is excision. And speckle type is the most aggressive. Speckle type of erythroplakia is most aggressive. Okay. Now coming to the verrucous carcinoma, it is the image based question जहां पर आपको एक ट्यूमर मिलेगा जो कि ऐसे बाहर निकल रहा होगा. Okay, so that is called the verrucous carcinoma or Ackermann tumor. It is the HPV positive. It is low growing and good prognosis. So these 3 points you have to remember about the verrucous carcinoma. Okay. Now the general points, the erythroplakia is more common in the risk of carcinoma. अगर आपको दोनों ऑप्शंस एमसीक्यू में दिए हुए हैं, erythroplakia and leukoplakia, और आपसे पूछा हुआ रिस्क ऑफ कार्सिनोमा किसका ज्यादा रहेगा, which has the highest risk or maximum risk, so that is the erythroplakia. Okay, now the HPV, there are high risk lesions and low risk. This is the PYQ from micro also. This is the micro integration also. So there are two type of lesion, high risk and low risk with the HPV. So the high risk lesions are oropharyngeal, vaginal, cervical, penile, vulval, and anal. So these are the 6 cancer which we can prevent from the vaccine or vaccination also. So there is the low risk also, which is recurrent respiratory papillomatosis. Okay, it is the ENT question also, which is the low risk associated with the HPV carcinoma. Now come to the core oral carcinoma. The most common oral cancer in world is lip, but in India it is the buccomucosal or gingivobuccal sulcus. So this is again the PYQ. Okay. Now it is P53 associated. So it is squamous cell carcinoma because P53 association is with the squamous cell carcinoma also, and differentiation is again directly proportional to keratinization or keratinized pearls, because it's a squamous cell carcinoma, so there will be keratinization. And investigation of choice is CT scan. There is no MRI. MRI is not there. CT scan is there. Okay. Now staging is, so staging is by the thorax. If we have to do the staging by the thorax CCT. Okay. Now what is the field cancerization? So it is the field cancerization का मतलब होता है कि अगर एक ट्यूमर के साथ आपके ज्यादा ट्यूमर्स भी एसोसिएटेड हो रहे हैं, so that is the field cancerization. एक के बाद दो, दो के बाद तीन, तीन के बाद चार, तो ऐसे. So what it is called as sin and meta. Okay. sin का मतलब हुआ अगर 6 months के अंदर अंदर इनिशियल ट्यूमर के 6 months के अंदर अंदर अगर और ट्यूमर्स हो रहे हैं, so that is the sin. And meta is more than 6 months. So meta is more than 6 months of the initial tumor. Now the diagnosis, you have to do the biopsy, which is the incisional biopsy, not excisional biopsy. excisional biopsy नहीं करते हैं. excisional biopsy क्या होती है, जब हम किसी ट्यूमर को कंप्लीट निकाल के फिर उसको उसकी बायोप्सी करते हैं, दैट इज द एक्सिजनल बायोप्सी. इंसिजनल बायोप्सी होती है कि हम उस ट्यूमर का एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा ले लें और फिर उसके बाद उसको बायोप्सी के लिए भेजें. सो दैट इज द इंसिजनल बायोप्सी. दिस इज अगेन द पीवाईक्यू. तो आप, दिस इज अगेन द पीवाईक्यू कि आपको बायोप्सी कौन सी करनी है, इंसिजनल करनी है, एक्सिजनल करनी है. सो आपको इंसिजनल बायोप्सी करनी है एंड फ्रॉम द एज ऑफ द अल्सर. दिस इज अगेन द पीवाईक्यू. ओके. अगर बायोप्सी इनकंक्लूसिव है, देन यू हैव टू गिव एंटीबायोटिक्स फॉर 7 days एंड देन यू हैव टू रिपीट अगेन. सो दिस इज द कॉमन, वेरी common sense question. Now risk factors are smoke, alcohol, tobacco, which we can easily relate. Okay, sharp ill-fitted dentures. Okay, we can again easily relate. HPV, EBV. Remember, CMV is not the risk factor. This is the PYQ. CMV is not the risk factor. HPV and EBV are, and the oral infections. Okay. Now these are the most important PYQ questions. Independent prognostic factor about the oral cancer. It is the depth of invasion. It is the depth of invasion. Okay, and other is extranodal extension. Extranodal extension. Okay. नाउ मोस्ट कॉमन मेटास्टेटिक साइट इज लंग्स। मैंने आपको कल भी बताया था कि सॉफ्ट टिश्यू सारकोमास के लिए मोस्ट कॉमन मेटास्टेटिक साइट इज लंग, बट अगर ओवरऑल अब पूछा है तो लंग्स बताना, बट अगर रेट्रोपेरिटोनियली पूछा है तो लिवर बताना। तो यहाँ पर भी सेम है। अगर लिप कैंसर या ओरल कैंसर के लिए आपके लिए पूछा जाए कि मोस्ट कॉमन मेटास्टेटिक साइट, सो दैट इज द लंग। दिस इज अगेन द पीवाईक्यू ऑफ आईएनआई। दिस इज द पीवाईक्यू ऑफ आईएनआई आल्सो। दिस इज अगेन द पीवाईक्यू ऑफ आईएनआई। And what is the surgery? We have to do wide local excision, 0.5 centimeter margin होनी चाहिए. This is again the PYQ of NEAT. And what is the commando procedure? Commando procedure is when we do wide local excision plus lymph node dissection plus mandibulectomy. तो lymph node dissection की वीडियो या फिर lymph node dissection समझने के लिए मैंने पास्ट कैंसर्स में इसको पार्ट को कवर करा हुआ है, तो आप वहां जाकर के देख सकते हो। सीएनएस ट्यूमर से रिलेटेड भी मैंने इसको कवर करा हुआ है, और ईएनटी ट्यूमर्स में मैंने इसको कवर करा हुआ है, तो वहां जाकर के इसको अच्छे से देख सकते हो, समझ सकते हो lymph node dissection को। And these were all the points regarding parotid oral and buccal tumors. तो आई होप आपको ये समझ आ गया होगा। एंड इफ अगर आपको कोई भी डाउट है तो आप मुझे कमेंट्स में बता सकते हो, या अगर आपको कोई और कैंसर सीरीज में कोई और वीडियो अगर आपको देखनी तो मैं वो भी अपलोड करूंगा। अगर आपको पहले कोई वीडियो देखनी है तो यू कैन ऑल्सो सजेस्ट मी। आई विल टेक दैट सजेशन एंड फीडबैक एंड रिवर्ट बैक टू यू। ओके, सो ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर प्रिपरेशन एंड कीप वर्किंग हार्ड।